Good Wednesday morning, Oswego, and welcome to Top in the Morning on WTOP10. I'm Samantha Damasio. Today is October 10th, and this is your news and weather to get you out the door. Let's take a look at your top stories before a look at your weather. Former Penn State assistant coach Jerry Sandusky is sentenced to 30 years in prison. Some exciting local news for Central New York. A lot of big names at Syracuse University last night, bringing an estimated 24,000 people into the Carrier Dome. On the political side of things, Sesame Street wants no part in the presidential campaigns. And for your national news, Florida has recorded its first death connected to the nationwide outbreak of fungal meningitis. We'll have an in-depth look at your top stories in just a moment, but first a quick look at your weather with Chief Meteorologist Patrick Calvin. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning, Sam, and top of the morning to you, Oswego. A great morning if you're heading out to class or work or whatever it is you're up at this hour for. 52 degrees right now, mostly cloudy skies, but a few peaks of sunshine out there. Unfortunately, that's not going to last as we head through the rest of the day. And as we take a look, our top weather stories right now, mostly cloudy for the majority of the day as we head towards the afternoon hours. Showers begin to move in and develop in the area during and after the lunchtime hour. And then after this cold front, which is going to be sparking off these rain showers, after that cold front passes through, lake effect rain takes over in its wake. And yes, say it ain't snow. Snow even possible in those higher elevations going into the Tug Hill Plateau and the Adirondacks. Let's take a look at our 3-day forecast real fast. Thursday, we remain unsettled as a result of this system passing through the day today, but we end the week on a really bright note. Friday and Saturday both looking like sunny days with high temperatures in the low to mid 50s. We'll have a full look at your forecast in just 10 minutes, but right now we'll send it back to Sam.
All right, thanks, Pat. Convicted pedophile Jerry Sandusky will spend at least 30 years behind bars. For the 68-year-old former Penn State assistant football coach, that's essentially a life sentence. A Pennsylvania judge sentenced him to at least 30, but no more than 60 years in prison for sexually abusing 10 boys over a 15-year period. He will get credit for time already served since his June conviction on 45 counts of child sex abuse. Monday, Sandusky released an audio statement claiming his innocence and that he had been a victim of the court. The judge said he'd heard Sandusky's statement and that it was unbelievable. The attorneys for Sandusky say they will appeal the conviction. An exciting 2 days of panel discussions and music at Syracuse University with the exiled spiritual leader of Tibet, the Dalai Lama, as a star attraction. The Common Ground for Peace event started Monday morning. An estimated 24,000 people filled Syracuse University's Carrier Dome for last night's performances by Dave Matthews, Counting Crows, Cyndi Lauper, and Nelly Furtado, among others. The Dalai Lama kicked off the event, which was emceed by Whoopi Goldberg. The Syracuse Common Council made the declaration at yesterday's meeting that October 9th will now officially be International Day of Peace in Syracuse. The unlikely star of last week's presidential debate is now starring in an ad from President Obama's campaign, and Sesame Street isn't happy with it. The spot sarcastically casts Big Bird as a corporate fiend along the lines of Bernie Madoff and Kenneth Lay. The campaign says it will air on national broadcast and cable. Sesame Workshop wants the ad removed, saying in a statement that it has not approved any campaign ads. An Obama campaign official said they had received the statement and were reviewing their concerns. At last week's debate, Mitt Romney said he would cut the federal subsidy to Sesame Street's network, PBS, in order to help reduce the country's deficit. And Florida has recorded its first death connected to the nationwide outbreak of fungal meningitis, raising the death toll to 12. Also, 120 people have now become ill. Those numbers are up from Monday's count of 8 deaths and 105 illnesses.
The outbreak is linked to contaminated steroid injections for pain and inflammation. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says up to 13,000 people may have received the medicine. The New England Compounding Center, or NECC, is a Massachusetts-based pharmacy that made the contaminated injections. It voluntarily recalled 3 lots of the steroid and has surrendered its license to operate, pending the Food and Drug Administration investigation. Meanwhile, the head of a Massachusetts pharmacy board assured the public the NECC has recalled all the implicated products. He also offered words of sympathy.
On behalf of the board, I want to express our deepest sympathy for the patients and their families who have been impacted by this tragedy.
And a funeral took place Tuesday for Lillian Carey, one of the victims in Michigan.
The grief and disbelief that something like this could happen is still there. And again, like my father, we haven't had much time to really get online and see what necessarily could be to blame for this. So the anger has not yet become a factor.
Health officials say 75 medical facilities in 23 states received the contaminated injections. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
All right. New York police could have a serious counterfeiting problem on their hands. Investigators are trying to find the suspect who loaded up 2 Manhattan ATMs with fake cash. The individual then made off with $100,000 in real bills. At least 2 people withdrew bills that were blank on one side. But this New Yorker isn't very worried about it. Police are apparently investigating a 26-year-old man as a possible subject.
How many ATMs can the guy actually hit in a city of 10 million people? And how many ATMs are there in the city? There's got to be 100,000 ATMs.
That's true.
So I'm not too worried that I'm going to go into the one out of the next, 99,099 that the guy's going to hit.
Police are apparently investigating a 26-year-old man as a possible suspect. He works at the company services in the ATMs. And faced with overcrowding in New York City's homeless shelters, Mayor Michael Bloomberg has cut through the bureaucracy to open up new shelters across the city. Bloomberg has opened 10 new homeless shelters in recent months in response to the escalating crisis. But he is bypassing the typical community approval. In the process, some of these shelters are being created in wealthier known areas where residents fear their new neighbors will bring in crime and drugs. At last count, more than 46,000 people sought shelter every night in New York, the highest number ever recorded. New York State is required by law to provide shelter to every person who seeks it. And we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have Chief Meteorologist Patrick Kavlin take a twist with an updated financial report and closer look at your world news. Stay with us. This is WTOP Top in the Morning.
Hi, we're Real Big Fish.
And you're watching WTOP10.
Like the number.
Hair loss. Now this rash on my face, what's going on?
For answers, ask your doctor the right question.
Could I have lupus?
The Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
For a look at your financial report. Come the new year, if Congress fails to act, spending cuts and tax increases large enough to throw the country back into recession will take effect. Known throughout Washington as the fiscal cliff, some policy and economic analysts are projecting its complicated and wide-ranging potential impact would be closer to that of a fiscal slope or hill, citing overall effects would be powerful but gradual and in some cases reversible. So what does that mean for American families? If Congress fails to act, the Tax Policy Center, a Washington research group, has estimated that the average family would see an increase in its tax bill of $3,500 and a tax income drop of 6.2%. And in international finances, the International Monetary Fund urged European policymakers to deepen the fiscal ties within the euro area with some urgency in an attempt to restore the sagging confidence in the global financial system. In its semi-annual check on the world's financial health, the fund said the euro area's debt crisis was a key threat to the risks to the risks to global financial stability and had risen in the last 6 months, leaving confidence, quote, very fragile. The euro area's plodding progress means European banks are likely to offload $2.8 trillion in assets over 2 years to reduce their risk exposure, an increase of $200 billion from a prediction 6 months ago. The IMF estimated under current policies that European banks will shed $2.8 trillion in the assets between the third quarter of 2011 and the end of 2013, higher than the $2.6 trillion it had predicted in April, further squeezing the credit availability. And currently, with about 5 minutes into the trading session, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 26 points, the NASDAQ is down 2.5, and the S&P is just down about 1.5. That's your financial news this Wednesday morning. Now we'll send it back to Sam for your top stories around the world.
All right, thanks so much, Pat. Afghanistan will be the lead topic as defense ministers meet in Brussels. During 2 days of meetings, U.S. Defense Secretary Leon Panetta will meet with military leaders from most of the NATO's 28 member nations. 6 other countries that contribute to the international security and assistance force will have representatives in Belgium to speak with Secretary Panetta. The Defense Department says the military leaders will discuss past successes in Afghanistan and the country's future challenges. ISAF's goal is to completely transition to fully Afghan-led security force in 2014. Radical Muslim cleric Abu Hamza al-Mashari has pleaded not guilty to 11 terror-related charges in a New York court. The preacher was arraigned today. The U.S. alleges Abu Hamza pushed for violent jihad in Afghanistan and tried to establish a terror training camp in Oregon. The cleric lost his battle against extradition to the U.S. from the UK last week, and his trademark hook-like prosthetic hand was removed by U.S. authorities. CNN's Richard Roth reports.
Abu Hamza al-Masri refused to stand when the court session began. He's accused of 11 terrorism-related charges. He pled not guilty through his court-appointed attorney. But what most perturbed the defendant, according to his attorney, is that he does not have full-time use of prosthetic devices taken away when he was flown here from the United Kingdom.
I believe he has use of his prosthetics for a certain portion of the day, but not long enough to allow him to function the way he should function so he can help me do what he has to do, what I have to do.
Abu Hamza's attorney said he needs the prosthetics to survive in prison, to eat, to drink, to prepare for a trial. Judge Catherine Forrest set the date for the trial to start as August 26th. The attorney for Abu Hamza represents the Latin Kings in another trial and other gang members. He tried with the judge to get the trial to start a little bit later, but failed. He did say he was eager to represent Abu Hamza in court.
Well, I'm eager to take an assignment of what appears to be a very interesting case, an interesting man.
A man who the federal government says is responsible for inspiring many acts of terrorism around the world, including the kidnapping of 16 Westerners in Yemen. 4 hostages were killed, plus plotting a terrorism camp in Oregon in 1999. Richard Roth, CNN, New York.
All right, Pat. Well, I'm mostly concerned with the fact that I heard the word snow earlier.
Yeah, I figured that would jump out at most people, but fortunately, we won't have to worry about that here in Oswego. But in the higher terrain, that's certainly a chance for tonight. As you take a look at the radar shot right now, you can see not a whole lot going on in our area as of right now, but the showers are starting to push their way across the Great Lakes, particularly here across Lake Erie, and those will be moving into our area as we go in towards the lunchtime hour. Again, we're pretty dry here right now. The green shades here indicating showers and rain moving their way ever so slowly into our area. You can see the line here, and that'll be moving its way probably again around the lunchtime hour. So for right now, you don't have to worry about much. So what's going on in terms of our weather for the next 24 to 48 hours? Well, as you take a look at the surface analysis map, a lot going on here, so let me break it down for you. We've got this blue line here that's indicating a very strong cold front, and this will be making its way into our area as it sweeps across the Great Lakes region and the Ohio River Valley, and with it, we'll be seeing some pretty chilly temperatures and some unsettled weather as we go into the next 2 days. Temperatures around New York State pretty comfortable right now, especially for mid-October. We're holding steady in the low 50s across the eastern portion of the state. Back here as we go towards the west, temperatures are a little cooler, holding steady in the low to mid 40s. So what is actually going to happen with this cold front? So for the day today, the front pushes through and with it sparks off a bunch of showers. Okay, so we've got unsettled weather through the day today. Again, mainly after the lunchtime hour for us here in Oswego. Behind it, though, much colder air. And that's the first system. The second system that we have to deal with comes through during the overnight Thursday into the day on Friday. And this is the real shot of cold air. Sweeps through the upper Midwest, moves through our area, and gives us some of the coldest air that we have seen thus far this season. So for the day today, 11 a.m. heading out to class, maybe you're getting an early lunch. Those showers still off to the west, but ever slowly creeping their way into central portions of New York. 2 p.m. going to lunch, maybe you're going to your afternoon class or whatever. Those showers starting to creep their way into our area, and I think it's around this time of the day that you should make sure that you've got that rain gear with you. As we go into the afternoon, 5 p.m., maybe you're heading out for dinner, the bulk of the rainfall should now be off to our east. However, in its wake, this little green blip here indicates lake effect rain showers, and that will be the story as we go into the overnight. You can see here around 8 p.m. lake effect rain starting to form off Lake Erie, and that will also take place right off of Lake Ontario. So during the overnight tonight, we'll be seeing that lake effect rain start up here to the north around the Tug Hill region, and then as we go through the overnight, it will ever so slowly drift down towards the south and come and pass by Oswego. So a pretty unsettled evening as we go into the next few hours. So to take a look at a more detailed look at today's forecast, we should be on either side of 60 degrees in the Oswego County. Increasing clouds with showers developing again towards the afternoon. Will be pretty breezy. Southwest winds about 15 to 20 miles an hour. And then as we go into the overnight tonight, those winds shift to the west and pick up big time. 20 to 25 mile an hour with gusts even higher, particularly along the lake shore. 45 degrees, so our temperatures bump down also. And those showers continue with even a chance for a thunderstorm. Some of those lake effect rain showers could be vigorous enough to spark off a storm or two. As you take a look now at the 5-day forecast, Thursday again remaining unsettled before we head into the end of the week. Finally though, the weekend is looking nice. Friday and Saturday definitely looking like the pick days of the week here with temperatures in the low to mid 50s under mostly sunny skies before we become unsettled to start the week again next week. We'll have another look at your forecast in just 10 minutes, but right now we'll send it back to Sam.
All right, thanks, Pat. I think I'll be able to stick it out for the rest of the week as long as it's going to heat up on the weekend. A difficult budget year is leading to difficult decisions for local school officials. The Camden Central School District is considering losing North Bay Elementary School. Declining state aid, low enrollment, and a property tax cap are trying the district's hands in revenue. News of the closing has left parents outraged and fighting to keep the Oneida County School open. Parents are asking the schools for answers and other money-saving options. The closing of North Bay Elementary would save the district $750,000. Every day, the homeless population grows in Syracuse, but there's one program helping to reverse that trend. The program is called KEYS, which stands for Keys to Employment and Economic Stability. The program takes people off the streets and provides housing, educational opportunities, and job training. For more information on KEYS, log on to their website. It's www.sbh.com. And the fight for the 24th Congressional District is getting heated between Anne Marie Buerkle and Dan Maffei after a national publication listed that the district is on its top 10 most vulnerable list. Buerkle, who is Republican, is the incumbent in this race, according to the publication. This district will go for Obama. Buerkle says more research needs to go into that publication because her base is riled up. However, Maffei says Buerkle is disconnected with her district and that the publication is a reflection of where the district is leaning. On Tuesday, October 16th, SUNY Oswego's Department of Communication Studies, along with the Public Relations Student Society of America, will host the second annual What's Next session. This panel will focus on interview skills, including the skills students will need to land a job and how to be successful once they're in them. Panelists include alumni Patrick Spatafor, a 1983 graduate working as account supervisor at Eric Maurer & Associates, and Amanda Slater is a 2005 graduate who is now the communication specialist at the Rochester Museum and Science Center. Shane Steifen, the founder and president of Step One Creative, will also be attending. Sarah Bozick, PRSSA's faculty advisor says students interested in pursuing careers in public relations will hear directly from public relations professionals about the skills they will need to be successful in the professional world. Following the panel discussion, students will have the opportunity to interact with the professionals during a reception. The session will begin at 7 p.m. in Lanigan Hall, room 103. And now we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll get you caught up on the latest news and entertainment and take a final look at your weather. Stay with us. You're watching WTOP10.
You're watching WTOP10, Oswego, New York. I'm the kid. Come on.
G-morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did? Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Oswego MBA program helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Welcome back. Kim Kardashian adds superhero to her lengthy list of roles, and Guy Ritchie heads to the altar. Christina Muchler has those entertainment stories and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
Comic book and Kim Kardashian fans unite. The reality star turned superhero stars in a comic book titled 15 Minutes, Kim Kardashian. The comic, which released on Tuesday, focuses on the many loves of Kardashian and her rise to fame. New York Times best-selling author Mark Shapiro penned the book as part of a Blue Water Productions 15-minute series, which focuses on reality stars. Filmmaker Guy Ritchie and his girlfriend of 2 years, model Jackie Ainsley, are going to the chapel. It's the second piece of good news from the pair in the past few months, who announced in July they're expecting another child. They already have a son together, Raphael, born in September 2011. Ritchie was previously married to Madonna from 2000 to 2008. He's been the Dictator, Bruno, and Borat. Now Sacha Baron Cohen might star as the lesbian. Baron Cohen's 4x2 Films announced plans to develop the movie inspired by a Hong Kong billionaire's lesbian daughter. The billionaire reportedly offered $64 million to any man who succeeded in marrying her. Baron Cohen is producing the film, which is a potential starring vehicle for the actor. For Hollywood Minute, I'm Christina Muchler.
Man, I don't know how she does it. All right, so right now, fall foliage, this is the big news. Everyone loves fall. I think this is everyone's favorite time of year when it comes to at least going outdoors. All right, so fall foliage report, as of October 6th, the maroon and the dark red indicates already at or past peak, so really got to make sure you get out there and see those nice fall colors within the next few weekends, because these colors will soon start to overspread the rest of the state. Another quick look at the temperatures outside, still holding steady at 52 under mostly cloudy skies, so the temperatures will creep up as we go through the day, but the clouds will move in addition to the temperatures creeping up. And as the day goes on, we'll also have the chance for rain increasing as our cold front approaches from the west, and after it passes, we won't be out of the clear then. Lake effect rain takes over this evening with, yes, snow possible in the higher terrain. Not a lot, and it's not for everybody. Again, just the higher terrain, probably around the Tug Hill. Don't be surprised if you see a few wet snowflakes, but again, nothing substantial yet. As take a look real quick, Wednesday, so this is it. The cold front passes through the region, and as it does so, sparks off showers and maybe even a spot storm as we go into the overnight tonight. And behind it, brisk and chilly air before our next system comes through on Friday and really brings our temperatures down. So here's a quick look at that 5-day forecast. Again, we remain breezy tomorrow after that front passes, and we do also remain unsettled with showers in the area. Friday and Saturday, though, we do clear out and it remains brisk, with temperatures struggling to reach the mid-50s. And then by Sunday and Monday, our weather becomes unsettled again, but our temperatures do moderate nicely to around 60 degrees. So overall, not a bad forecast, and this is probably the first one that I'm able to give in which the weekend isn't looking like a complete washout.
It's fall. You know, we experienced this transition from the shock of, okay, well, the other day it was 70 degrees and now it's 50, but I like to break out the fall coat. And
yeah, I know. Everyone's favorite part about fall, I think, is just getting those sweatshirts and the sweatpants on, the boots and everything.
Scarves.
But yeah, fall is definitely a transitional season, so those cold mornings and warm afternoons, whether you believe it or not, are characteristic of the season. And I don't know, I think we should enjoy it while it lasts before the real cold weather moves in the next few weeks.
All right. Well, did you see that Kim Kardashian is doing it all?
She is. I don't know how she does it either. I mean, I can barely sit here and read off a teleprompter, nonetheless just do the weather. I don't know how she's all over the place between being a superhero, being in comic books, having her own TV show.
Well, you do a great job on the prompter.
Thank you.
You can do it all as well. All right, well, we're going to take one more quick break, but when we come back, we'll take a dive into the lighter side of news. Stay with us. You're watching WTOP 10 Monday.
Teaching a kid football is one thing. Keeping a kid in school, that's the name of my game. My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
The Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Welcome back to your Wednesday morning news. Perhaps you needed a vacation before Thanksgiving. A wayward turkey has made himself at home in a Minnesota neighborhood. Amy Unruh has the story.
He just wanders up and down our block.
He could be in your backyard, peering in your windows.
I didn't know if it was mean or nice.
Or he could be luring your children.
Plucking it in our hand. One time I saw him flying up on that roof.
He is a peeping Tom, a male turkey, of course, and we caught him in the act. But he's not the scary kind.
Oh, good personality. The kids feed him. He, doesn't go after him or anything.
You could call him the Glendon Gobbler because he's been strutting around town for around 5 months now. But most people just call him Roger. He wanders the streets, is known to hold up traffic on Highway 10,
gobble, gobble,
and will eat anything you throw his way.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
There was another one for about 2 weeks, and then that one disappeared, and this one hasn't gone anywhere.
He roams alone and has to fend for himself. And if this is any sign of what's to come, well, Roger better be scared.
Jokes on Facebook about, who's going to shoot the turkey.
People have been talking about kenneling him and killing him, which would make us all sad.
He's got a lot of people on his side, but come Thanksgiving, if he's gone, we'll know what happened.
All right, Pat. Well, I think I need a couple more hours of sleep. Apparently, I'm still stuck on Monday.
Yeah, I know. Well, hey, thankfully it's not Monday. Just 2 more days to Friday, right?
Exactly. With some nice weather.
With some nice weather in store, absolutely. Sunny skies and cool conditions, but very fall-like overall, so not complaining.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us this Wednesday morning on WTOP 10.
I'm Patrick Cavlin.
And I'm Samantha Damasio. Have a fantastic Wednesday.
We'll see you tonight.